back to another D150 episode. We haven't touched this thing much in the last few weeks that we've been home from Roadkill, but we've been getting a ton of questions on YouTube and on Instagram. We are going to take some time to answer those and then tell you some exciting future plans that we have for the truck.
Oh yeah.
The main question we've been getting is if we can do a final walk around of the build and show you guys what parts we used. A lot of those little details got skipped over. We also found out building this that there's not a lot of information on these trucks on the internet. For any of you guys that are wanting to build your D150s in a performance sense, we want to help.
Let's do it.
We haven't even been under here since we raced it, so
nope.
This should be fun to look at everything. We're running a Mosier 8 3/4 rear end. Got a fabbed housing, got the back bracing, which, you know, is probably a little bit overkill for what we're working with, but doesn't it look cool?
It looks so cool. So on that Mosier rear axle, we have a set of Viking shocks. Obviously, we have the drop brackets, and we're running them in like a vertical configuration. We welded in a piece of, I think it's just 1 5/8 tube. It's nothing fancy, up between the frame rails, so that way we can get them as vertical as possible and also as long as possible, just so we make sure we had enough travel and we weren't, you know, bottoming them out or anything silly like that.
Berserkers.
Yeah, the berserkers. I don't remember what the options are.
No, they have all kinds of different options though for what you're trying to do, whether it's street or mainly drag strip or whatever.
You basically tell them what you're going to do with the vehicle and the weight and all that stuff, your power, and they basically spec it out to your configuration. So it's really, really cool, and they're great guys to work with.
They had these built really fast.
Going past that are Caltrac split monos and the actual traction bars themselves. So these are made to order. So basically you just give them the dimensions between, you know, eye bolt to eye bolt, and they have a whole spec sheet on their website, but these are spec'd out specifically for this truck. Dodges are very weird in the front hanger. They have like 10 different bolt sizes or something crazy like that. So you have to measure some things and get them over to them. But utilizing this setup is a lot easier because then when they build the traction bar themselves, they actually spec it to their spring. So it makes it a lot less, less of a headache.
Basically, the answer to that is if you call them, they will have you measure a whole bunch of different things and spec it out specifically for your truck. There's no like part number or anything like that. So
there's
you just got to call and
there's no guessing on it too, because again, they're very helpful and they'll walk you through everything you need. And once you fill out the sheet, they get everything sent over. And honestly, the turnaround time's pretty quick.
What else we got under here?
We got some stuff, some things.
We're running some cool tires. These are from Mickey Thompson. They are the newer limited prep tire that they have. They're supposed to be really good for, you know, limited prep in situations like those. And given that we were going to be racing on the street, that's what we went with. And they worked really well. And they're supposed to last a bit longer. So we're going to continue testing those and see. But so far, we like them.
We might try a radial on it for some of these upcoming races just to see how the truck reacts. But so far, the tires worked really well. I mean, you know, we have limited experience. My experience comes from a prep track, so this is a bit of a new world for me. You'll notice that some of the other competitors are having issues with their drive shafts coming apart, breaking, what have you. But this unit here is made by a company called Shaft Masters up in Michigan, and I can't stress enough how great they are. Their customer service is incredible. His turnaround time is insane, and he's never made a drive shaft that's let me down. For the last, 10, 15 years I've been building cars, it's gotten one of these. And one of the things he does, he puts slip joint or whatever you want to call this guy, telescoping doodad at the back instead of the front. Some guys are having problems with that. Some guys are breaking in the middle. You know, I can't really speak for what was causing their issues, but one of the reasons I think ours is working is a combination of the shaft, but also the gearing in the back. We geared this with a 3-2-3 gear, whereas a lot of other people were running a shorter ratio, so like a 4-10, stuff like that.
Or even higher.
Right. Well, you get a lot more drive shaft speed that way. And these transmissions are close ratio boxes. They don't want a lot of drive shaft speed. They don't want a steep gear in the back. So the combination between the two worked really well. And I mean, the truck's got, 20, 30
at least
passes on it now.
You know, us testing it at Milan and then Roadkill and all that fun stuff. It's got a decent amount of passes to where I think if it was going to fail, we probably would have
had a problem.
But just for safety, we added a drive shaft loop.
Yeah, we actually added this in after the fact because, again, time was, of the essence. So
time was ticking.
We got that in there just in case anything ever happens. The exhaust is something we kind of just cobbled together, to be honest with you. The front half's really nice. It's 3-inch stainless. all the way back to here. I added in an X pipe because I have this weird thing with exhaust pulses and all that stuff, so I like to merge them. Plus, it gives it a unique sound. And most importantly, it was laying on the shelf, so made it a lot easier for me.
Getting stuff off the shelf.
Yeah, getting stuff off the shelf and making this go quicker. But yeah, I just extended it back, some 3-inch again, and a couple of like race bullet style mufflers, turned down off to the side. And it actually sounds really good going down the road too, which is important to us. There's like 0 drone in the cab, which is insane.
Up here in the front, we were running stock brakes.
Yeah,
because again, due to limited time, so we struggled with some issues there. But another thing we did, pretty much the only thing we did up here, was add these Viking coilovers.
Yeah, the Vikings again are a killer unit. They actually make a kit for this truck, which I was blown away by. Nobody else makes anything for these trucks. So Viking has one off the shelf, and again, they spec'd it for what we're doing here. We actually chose a lighter spring rate because this engine's so light. I believe they wanted a 550-pound spring for a stock regular V8 truck. We put a 450 in here because the nose is actually quite a bit lighter than stock, and it seemed to sit really well. Engine doesn't have any extra holes in it.
No extra holes. We are still in one piece.
About that. Yep. Trans cooler is still questionable, but
yeah, the trans cooler was leaking a couple drops here and there, but we fixed it the best we could.
Yeah, I think it's better. I don't know. I still see a drip here, but
yeah,
there's a drip on this. It might be power steering as well. I don't really know.
A couple weeks ago, we took this apart and sent out the spindle to a company called Aerospace Components, and we also got some upgrades for the rear brakes because those were really not holding. Anytime we tried to spool it up, it pretty much just spun the tires. So let's check out what we got. All right, we have a really awesome table full of cool stuff.
Yeah, the table is really awesome too,
isn't it? The table is awesome too.
So Aerospace built us these really cool brakes. It's basically all custom. They made the hub and everything to go on the Dodge spindle because the Dodge uses a proprietary size bearing and the whole 9 yards. So custom brackets that go on the spindle, as you can already see, goes on our X2 spindle.
That's what we sent out to them so they could make this kit.
Wheel studs, the whole 9 yards, all the hardware and everything.
That's a lot lighter.
Yeah, I don't know the actual weight. I want to put it on a scale with the stock stuff and then this just to see what the difference is. But this is their, I guess, Pro Street line.
Yep.
I believe so. It's a vented rotor, whereas a normal drag brake is like a single, non-vented. Which, this is a lot better for long trips and stuff like that. It's more of an actual street brake. So we wanted something that's going to last a long time, so we ended up going that route. And it's only, I believe, 7 or 8 pounds heavier than their actual drag kit. So it should be really nice for what we're trying to do with this thing. I think it's going to help out tremendously. Take some weight off the nose and basically do everything we want it to do. For the back, we got this real nice upgrade from Mosier here.
A lot of cool stuff here.
Yeah, we got a lot of calipers. I don't know if you're good at math here, but
yeah, there's
something doesn't add up, and that's because this is a dual caliper kit for the back. This is like some pro mod, over the top drag car type stuff, but because we're foot braking this thing, they said this should solve our problem no matter what. So
we told them that it's not hold it, and they said, hold on.
Yeah, hold my Dr. Pepper.
We'll send you something cool. Last time we have to look at our wimpy stock brakes.
So terrible. So boring. Not to mention they drag.
Oh boy. Yeah, that probably didn't help.
Oh yeah, that's good for a few mile an hour up top all day. You can see where it's been getting hot.
Yeah.
Ew.
Yuck.
You want to make sure you put these in a spot where you're going to totally knock them off and lose them and get really grumpy later.
So we did have Willwoods back here, but from what we understand, the kit was just a little bit too small for what we were trying to do. It's got a tiny little caliper on it. It was more meant for like a resto mod street type of car. Look at all that rubber. What happened?
See, what had happened was we had burnout tires and we wanted to test the burnout function on the truck and see if the burnout function operates. It does. All right, we got Morgan pulling off the rear calipers right now. Let's see what she's doing. What are you doing?
Just pulling the rear calipers off,
I guess that's pretty much all there is to that, huh? You hit your head?
Yeah, I did actually just hit my head.
That's fine.
Loosening these bolts. I'm scared the truck's gonna like fall on my head. Oh my god, ow.
That's gonna drip for 3-4 business days. How's it going?
Not swell.
Not well.
Not
okay.
Swell. Wait. Got it, I think.
There you go. No, the funny part is I actually have the line clamps and the little plugs to stop that.
Oh yeah, you do, don't you?
But they're way over there on the toolbox. That's a long
I'll just
walk.
keep sticking my hands in it. It's fine.
It's good for the skin. Bonus parts.
Yeah, you don't need all those.
Yeah, you don't need that. Put it somewhere and then snatch that there rotor off.
You know, it's a shame because that's a really nice kit, but the cool thing is I've got this that needs brakes.
I see.
So I'll be commandeering those. We opted to get the parking brake cables, which we don't really need. And we also can't use that with the Moser drag brake kit. So we're going to rip all that off. It's also going to go onto the Jimmy.
Hey. Yeah, and we should point out that this was actually a really great kit that was on here.
Yeah.
It's just not right for what we're trying to do with this truck. Awesome on Jimmy.
Yeah, it is actually. That's the good thing about having 14 different projects is that you can recycle.
You know what's better than having 14 though? Is having 15.
Should we look for another one?
I think so.
Now we just need a red Ford.
Yeah, I mean, you gotta have the trifecta.
The only thing that makes sense, really.
Yeah, I mean, logically, you know.
I think we're legally obligated.
Yeah, if you divide by pi, or
yeah,
something about pi. So another issue we were having with the rear brakes is the internal parking brake, which is really cool, obviously, for a street rod or whatever else. But the issue lies here. If you look, I don't know if you can see it very well, but you can see how bad it was dragging. And even though we adjusted it out, for some reason, I don't know if bouncing from the cable or if we just had too much preload in it or what. And it would only drag actually when it got hot. So you couldn't tell when the truck was cooled off, it would roll fine. But occasionally you could actually hear it kind of squeaking from the back. So pretty excited to see how much it actually picks up from that, because honestly, it doesn't seem like a lot, but that will drastically affect your mile per hour.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. It's dragging bad. It's weird. Is that lightning? Okay.
I don't know.
Perfect.
I mean, you always lose the cotter pin.
You don't really need it. Oh yeah, there it is.
Right?
Got it. Nice and quiet with all the rain. Florida things. Yep.
That's a pain.
One in the sauce. Parts are falling out. Put that up. Thank you. Bearing feels a little crunchy.
Uh-oh. Already?
Yeah. It's probably fine. Install supplied spiral snap ring. Hi.
You read instructions?
Shh.
So you needed those after all.
Delete this footage. Delete this footage.
You're done.
You're done. Let's see if I can do this with my fingers.
Oh, it's one of them complicated ones.
No, I am a piston ring tool. Actually, I'm just a regular tool. Because it's paper.
That's really neat.
Yep.
Oh, look at that.
Sporty. Mostly excited with the potential of, you know, being able to spool the truck up.
That'd be great.
That'd be nice. We're going to try this setup with our current master cylinder, but if we go to the 4, we're going to need a bigger bore master, which we have.
Yeah.
But I'd like to try to use what we have before we swap it all out. So one step at a time.
She only needs what she needs.
She only needs what she needs. there any chance we can send those inserts? Inserts? Oh, I don't know. We don't have to worry because there's 4 calipers, so I can at least lose 2.
That lines up there.
Okay.
Oh God, stay. This is so difficult. What are you doing?
Being weird. Justin started it. Morgan, this is not safe. Why are you like this? Why are you like this?
Yeah, looks good. Like squares.
Just a square. Oh, what am I doing?
What are you doing?
This is my first time. So many options of direction to put it in. Oh, wait. All right, pads are loaded. Just have to run lines.
Cool. So I guess we're running 4, huh?
Well, we'll see what happens. Yeah. All we need to do is hook up 2 fittings, put fluid in it, bleed it, and we can test it. But my gut's telling me to not even bother and just rip the lines and go ahead and run all 4, even though I already said I was going to test it with 2. So
Well,
I'm trying to decide. So we're pondering.
honestly, I kind of feel like we should just send it with 4.
Yeah, I am on the same
Yeah.
page. And all we're trying to do here is just hold this thing stationary while you foot brake it.
Yeah,
and spool it
that's
up.
really it, because it stopped the truck pretty okay. I mean,
Yeah.
with the setup that we had, but it just did not want to spool up. It's literally like 1,400 RPM.
Yeah, you only got like 2 good 60 foots out of it. So hopefully now it'll just be more consistent. Like you just minimum.
And that's really all that I want. Honestly, what's the worst that can happen with running all 4? We have to remake the brake lines,
Yeah, I have to make hard lines for the whole truck.
which you kind of wanted to do anyway, didn't you?
Yeah.
Crusty.
Yeah, we're doing some other maintenance that we totally neglected on purpose.
Yeah, on accident, on purpose.
Yeah.
Oh my god,
these bushings
those are so bad.
They sold out a while ago. It's not like it's gonna fall off, so she might be a little wobbly, but
yeah,
it ain't too bad. So we're gonna knock these bushings out, clean these arms up, and get her all back together.
Yep.
Weird. So the sleeve stays in. Got it.
So your sketchy tomfoolery is working?
Yeah, it's gonna do sketchy stuff though. Okay.
Alrighty then.
I literally just needed a touch. Oh, that's weird. This one is different than the other side. Well, I guess not. It's just really weird what this little guy is. Is this bonus? Or did it break off? I don't know. But we got these guys out, and that's all that really matters.
Those are crusty.
Oh yeah. You can see this has got the clean portion where that piece was, so this side definitely didn't have it.
So we're doing a little experiment here just for our own knowledge, because we just took that stock caliper off and man, it is heavier than I think both of us expected. So we just want to know how much we're really shaving off the nose here.
Yeah, we want to see what this dinosaur stuff weighs. So let's start with the caliper. Just gonna kind of like let it down.
12.5 pounds-ish. I know that thing's heavy.
I'm gonna throw on.
Yeah, you can add on some extra stuff.
All the goodies here.
Oh, bolts even, wow.
Well, those are the caliper bolts. Oh, cotter pins can stay.
That was like an ounce. All right, so all of the miscellaneous garbage is it's almost 7 pounds. 6 pounds, 14 ounces, which is almost 7. All right. Oh my God. I know that is ridiculous.
28 pounds, 7 ounces.
Yep.
Basically 48. It's like 47 and some change-ish ballpark. So let's see what the other stuff weighs. What does that number say?
Holy cow. 12 pounds. It's half the weight.
It weighs the same as the caliper.
But still.
I don't know if I can get this all on here, but we're going to try. Get in there.
Wow. Get out of here. 12 pounds. 3 pounds, 12 ounces.
Just over 18 pounds. It's like 18 and a half pounds roughly.
Compared to 48.
48 pounds. So it's essentially 30 pounds lighter per side. Per side. Cutting 60 pounds of unsprung weight off the nose of the truck just by doing that. That's impressive. That's really good.
This truck still has all of its AC stuff in it.
Heater box.
So all the heater box and stuff underneath the dash. So now we're going to strip all of that out and we're going to make a plate for the firewall. So that'll be, what, probably an extra 40, 50 pounds.
It'd be cool to get the target weight with driver to 32.
Yeah.
Which would be huge. That's a huge gain.
Yep. All right, so after a long couple of weeks of working on the D150 and testing it, the brakes are finally done. And we even decided to take it to the track just for the ultimate test. They worked too good.
A little too good.
I'm used to having no brakes, so I laid on the pedal, and I think I used too much brake, and there was some fire.
In her defense, though, the truck should have a line lock on it, and we have one now, so hopefully we can add that and eliminate that problem altogether. A little fire never hurt. You know.
Yeah, it hurt my feelings. Overall, it did really well. It went the fastest time that we have so far.
Yep.
So it went 698 at 103.
And not to be that guy, but it's definitely got more in it. So
yeah,
once you can improve the 60 foot and some other things, it leaves a little bit lazy, which we're still trying to dial it in. Oh, it's up to you. Probably, yeah. I gotta mention it at some point, right?
Yeah, we're leaving in 2 days to compete in 666, and we're driving down Route 66 from Missouri to New Mexico, stopping at all the cool historic checkpoints and racing at 6 different tracks. And it's quite literally going to be like a torture test.
Yeah.
So before we wrap this video up, I did want to go over a few more questions that I got on Instagram. I got some pretty specific questions, and like we said earlier, we want to try and help anyone that's trying to build this truck or anyone that has any questions that we didn't answer along the way or anything like that. So
how does one get invited to Roadkill nights?
To be honest, I don't even know how I really got there. Basically, it's invitation only as far as the grudge match is concerned. Somebody reached out to me and asked, if I wanted to work with Dodge in an opportunity. I said absolutely, and then Dodge reached out to me and said, basically, if you have the means to do it and you want to do it, then the opportunity is yours. And of course we said,
yes.
Duh. You get recommended, or you just have to know somebody, or they find you on social media or something like that. So there does have to be some sort of social media presence involved, because a lot of it is promoting. For us, it was promoting the new Hurricane and stuff like that. So.
Yep. What transmission, and does it come with the crate engine? Also, what exhaust is on it?
Well, it comes with the 8 HP 75. That is the truck transmission. I'm honestly not really sure if that's the one that it's going to come with.
I would assume yes to answer that, because I think the bell housing is proprietary,
Specific to it, yeah.
to the Hurricane.
Yeah.
So it probably will be the only option.
I would think so. They're still developing the crate engine. Like, we were the first group of people that were really testing it as a crate package to see how it works and if it's all going to work together correctly and take, you know, what they threw at it basically. And so far it's working fantastic.
Yeah.
So I think they're probably going to keep it in the configuration that it's in. And as far as the exhaust, all of that is custom.
What did it do in the quarter mile?
I can tell you what it did in the 8th mile because we haven't ran it out in the quarter yet. Honestly, we're a little scared to do that because of how many drive shafts were flung at Roadkill.
I think we're good. Plus, it has one of the best drive shafts known to man by Shaft Masters.
Yes,
my favorite drive shaft company.
We've used them for years. You've used
literally
them for
like 15 years.
The best time that we did was the other night, and it was 698 at 103.
Yeah.
Which should equate to like a low 11, high 10.
Yeah, it's like around 11.0. She coasted, got off the throttle and coasted after the 8th mile and still went 11.4.
Yeah, so I feel like it should easily go 11.0 or, I don't know, maybe like a 10.90.
Yeah. Is the hood optional?
Hood is always optional.
So what does this engine design originally be fitted in?
As of this year, they're going into all the new half-ton Rams in place of the Hemi. They came in the 2024 Wagoneers. The regular Wagoneer has the lower output. The Grand Wagoneer has the high output, which is what this has. It rips.
Yeah,
like, for a 6,000-pound vehicle, I think they're
something like that.
Somewhere around there, 5,000 to 6,000 pounds. It moves.
Yeah, it runs good. Is that a stock engine and stock boost levels?
Yes and no.
Yes and no.
So the engine is completely stock, but it's just tuned. So they up the boost levels to
it's like
an undisclosed amount. They're still testing the crate packages to see if they will take what they're throwing at them.
Yeah, it's up there.
It's up there.
It's up there. Was it as easy to win as you made it look?
No. The morning of Roadkill, I was curled up in the hotel bed.
Can confirm.
So nervous. It was really my first time drag racing. First time in front of like 50,000 people drag racing, that's for sure. It was nerve-wracking to say the least, but I would say it was a really good opportunity for me to like overcome that fear because I've always wanted to drag race, but I think I've always been afraid to. So this was like ripping off the Band-Aid aggressively, and now I feel all right.
How was your overall Roadkill night experience from start to winning?
Probably one of the coolest things that I've gotten to do, especially for the both of us. It's either you're starting halfway done, or it's a project that he had, or it's a project that I had, or whatever. But this was 100% ours from start to finish. So that was really cool. And then the opportunity as a whole, like getting to meet so many cool people, made some new friends. Gen 2 Garage.
The best.
I would say it was 10 out of 10.
Absolutely. Wholeheartedly agree with that.
Yeah.
Can it gap a dark horse?
Yes. Whenever you're ready, Shane.
Pull up. What would you change knowing what you know now, and what is the future plans for it?
Having fixed the brakes, I don't think I would change anything. What about you?
The only thing I would add, and we're going to add, is the power steering, around town drivability, because once again, at the end of this, we were going to use this truck.
For sure.
So.
I think you're right. I think that really is the only thing that I would change.
Yeah.
But overall, I'm happier with the truck than I even thought I would be. Like, it is so perfect.
It really is.
It works so well. I think it's a cool alternative to the Hemi. I know a lot of people are upset about that, but we come from like an import world where we had tons of turbo stuff. So maybe we're a little biased, but people Hemi swap classics all the time. But this is something, just an alternative that's kind of different and fun. So
from the get-go, you know, the whole plan behind this build is build something that we want, like we would want to keep, we would want to drive, something we would enjoy. And I think by doing that, we just ended up with something that we truly love. Like, honestly, it checks all the boxes. It's arguably my favorite vehicle we have. Future
plans, more drag and drives. And obviously we're going to do that in a couple of days. So we're getting started with that pretty much immediately. We're doing Sick Week in 2025. Possibly Michigan Miles, which is another drag and drive that Tom is doing. There's 6 Smokies. So keep your eyes out for that. Those are going to be really neat, and those are one time only. Keep racing and having fun. And I think that's about it. If there are any other questions, drop them in the comments.
Yeah, absolutely.
But as far as I know, I think we've covered a lot about it. Thanks for watching. Bye. All right, so I think we're going to wrap this video up and keep getting ready for 666. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.
See ya.
Oh, I'm sweaty.
Look at the butt print you left.